Sith Lord 310 here with my review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, or the sequel to Guardians of the Galaxy. So yeah, I saw this movie this past weekend, and I was pretty excited for it. I was a big fan of the first one, and I don't know, I was excited to see what they would do with the sequel. Okay, I'm gonna go into spoilers a bit, so yeah, spoiler warning before you watch this. Um, Ego, played by Kurt Russell, he's a dick. He's just a major asshole. But he's good. This is one of the biggest gripes about Marvel movies is the fact that the villains usually are the weakest point. But I found that Kurt Russell was actually a good villain in this one. And I actually liked him as a villain. He actually served the purpose and he actually did some damage to our heroes. Yeah, so Kurt Russell did a good job as Ego. The the forgive me for forgiving their name, for forgetting their name. The gold people, the sovereign or something like that. Sovereign. Either way, um, they're pretty much pointless. They're just in the movie just to pretty much progress the story. They don't actually serve the story. They're just there to make the story continue going on. And anytime they were on screen or they showed up, I was like, "Oh, just get out of the way, move. I want to go back to the Guardians. I want to go back to seeing them. The gold people were kind of just a drag for me. Of course, Chris Pratt as Star Lord, he absolutely kills it. He embodies this character so much, and he does an most of the cast does an amazing job with their roles. The only two cast members that I would say kind of overdid it or underdid it would be Karen Gillian. Uh, I don't know how to say her name. Karen Gillian, the actress who pretty much plays Nebula. Don't get me wrong, she was good for what she had to do. The certain scenes she had to do, she was pretty good. But I had to say, I think sometimes she kind of overacted a little bit too much, and it showed a lot, and it was a little bit too over dramatic. So, and then the second person would be I believe her name is Kismet, the leader of the Gold People, played by Elizabeth Debicki. She did an okay job serving her purpose in the movie. She didn't do much, so she didn't have much to actually act for. But yeah, she did an okay job. A big standout for me was Michael Rooker as Yondu, who his death, by the way, is absolutely perfect. The way it flows with everything, with the whole father themes from Ego, just wanted to use Star Lord for his power, and then we find out that the reason Yondu kept Star Lord from his dad wasn't because he wanted to keep him from his dad, it's because he wanted to save him. That just overturned something that made Yondu a dick in the first movie and made him a really compassionate, really caring character in the sequel. So that really surprised me. Sean Gunn as Kraglin was surprisingly really good. He was a good standout, and I can't wait to see what he embodies as the Guardians movies go on. If he's gonna take on the mantle as Yondu. Now, overall, this movie is fun. It's a lot of fun. It is the movie. This movie is actually going until about halfway through the actual runtime of the movie. For the first half, you're just doing pretty much pointless stuff. The first half of the movie is kind of badly edited. It's just cutscene, cutscene, cutscene. It doesn't flow right. And then, the whole first half of the movie, you're like, okay, so when is the story gonna actually pick up? When is something gonna actually happen that's gonna be the main plot of the story? It doesn't happen until you meet Ego, pretty much. So yeah, but this movie is hilarious. Drax is a standout. Of He's a standout. He's the funniest character that we have. Baby Groot is of course adorable. Um, I feel that most of the emotional weight that they gave to all of these characters worked. Most of it worked, especially with Gamora and Nebula. I love the whole line that we got with them, especially everything with the finding out about Thanos. Thanos is he's not a good guy. He pretty much, I don't know if he didn't kill her, but he He was pretty much altering his daughter to make her a better warrior. He didn't care about her. And yeah, the only one that I wish could have got a little bit more backstory was Rocket. We hear some stuff about him when Yondu and him are having that talk. But that's pretty much all we get. But yeah, the 5 after credit scenes, all of them were not throwaways, but none of them really impacted the majority of the story besides the one with Adam Warlock, where they announced that the Sovereign are creating Adam Warlock. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Don't get me wrong, this movie is fun. You guys will enjoy this movie. It's worth seeing it in the theater. It's just not as good as the first one. Sometimes a comedy is in places where it shouldn't be. Like in a very serious scene, there's a comedic moment, and it just takes away the whole weight of the emotional moment. But yeah, guys, overall, this movie is, I believe it to be better than the first one, or at least it's on the same scale as the first one. But yeah, it's one of the better sequels in the MCU. So I'm asking you guys, what do you guys think of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Comment and let me know. And as always, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys like and subscribe. And as always, may the Force be with you.